Hey guys, so we're going to get on Google Classroom and look for this, whether you're advanced or Digital Music 1, same thing. We're going to scroll down here and click on this compress folder. We're going to download the folder. Once it's downloaded, we need to extract it. So if we go to downloads, it'll look like this. Right click, extract all, and then it'll look like this. Okay. Now we need to import these files into Cubase, create a new Cubase session. Before we do anything, let's make sure that our grid type is in bars and beats for music. And we need to get the right panel over here. So Control-Alt-R. There we go. All right, we're going to go ahead and save this to our folder as, let's see here. Brian Atkinson, finish the mix. This will be your name, finish the mix. Okay, now we need to import audio file. Downloads. Okay, select all these, hit open. Then we want to hit different tracks. There we go. All right, so this is our start. So let's just hit play. Okay, so right away, something sounds weird with the saxophone. So you'll notice it says Sax Alt 1. We want to mute that track and drag these two sax solo tracks to the bottom. Okay. Now, if I go to the inspector. Hello. Right there. Okay. If I hold Control and move the mouse wheel, I can change the color. So I'm just going to organize these a bit. Okay. So notice what we have. We have bass, electric guitar, 3 saxophones that are doing a harmony thing. And then we have some solo saxes. So you guys are going to be adding drums. We need to change our tempo to 102 beats per minute. Make sure that we're in 4/4, which you guys will see on your screen right here, 4/4. Let's turn the metronome on, make sure it sounds good. Okay, we're going to extend this musical section of all these tracks by 4 measures. Well, how are we going to do that? Well, we want to keep the ending the same. So the 4 measures we're going to copy and paste are going to be 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to select all of these. We're going to put our grid type on bar. I'm going to hit 3 and get the scissor tool, and I'm going to chop 2 through 6 up like this. And then I'm going to copy it. Actually, I need to move these over 4 measures first, like that. So we have 4 measures of space. Then I'm just going to duplicate that. So now we're at about a 40-second song, which we're going to make interesting with drums and different things. And if I wanted to, I could glue these all together with the glue tool. Okay. So I could do that if I wanted. You could also go up here to audio bounce selection, and it'll make it an entirely new audio file, which is pretty cool. All right, so we extended our song by 4 measures. Now we're going to create an original beat. So for you guys in advanced, I'm expecting you to do a little bit more with the beat. In basic, though, we're going to, for the first off, we're going to use loops. So loops show all items, beats, and then we can find things that we like. I'm going to go for funk. This is sort of a funky thing, but you don't have to go for funk. You can try something different. We want to try to look for something that was recorded near the tempo of our song. So 168 is about over 60 beats per minute faster. So we're going to look for something a little slower. I'm going to look for funk. Where are are you, funk? Give up the funk. All right. Okay, so I'm going to drag that in for starters. You guys in advanced, you can use loops, but I would prefer that you challenge yourself and make your own beat, just depending on where you are in your musical journey. I'll kind of tell you. So, we don't want this to start right away because the song doesn't start right away. Probably want to start about here. Okay. Remember to say Control-Z if you do something you don't like. So your journey is to figure out a beat that's interesting for the entire song. Maybe it doesn't need to have a beat for the first part, and maybe it comes in. Or maybe it's just a simple hi-hat. Like maybe delete a lot of these notes. Maybe just, what if we deleted everything but the top few lines? Alright, so it sounds super cheesy right now and not really that professional because we haven't done things to the bass or the guitar. It just sounds super thin and kind of weak. Alright, so panning. We're going to pan our saxophones mid, left, and right. So I'm going to click on low, medium, and top, these guys right here. I'm going to color these so I can just get organized. This is the same color. These are harmony saxophones, so they kind of live together. We're going to put them in a group track. We can actually do that now. So if I select all these, hold shift, right click, and then go add track. Group channel to selected tracks. We want stereo, and we can enter name, sax harmony. Okay, now let's move this above like that. So when I solo these, now they're all soloed, and I can add global effects to them, start to do different things to it, to change the sound. Cool. Okay, so we just need to demonstrate some panning of some instruments here, but it's strategic, right? So you might have one in the center, left and right. All right, cool. Next, insert automation. Okay, insert automation. So let's talk about inserts on the guitar and the bass. I'm going to solo this guy. Also, when I'm editing, I can go up here with my mouse and draw a region and then just loop that so I can hear it again and again, which is useful. All right, super quiet, but don't reach for the volume yet. We can maybe bring it up a few decibels, but don't reach for this. And if you hit F3, definitely do not just boost all of these things right away. If you have trouble hearing something loud enough, just let me know. We want to kind of leave these at 0 right now, okay? F3 to get out of it. All right, let's go to our handy dandy distortion VST amp rack. There's also amp simulator. I kind of like the amp simulator for bass, so we're going to go there. And we're going to find a preset, clicking in the black box, and bass amp vintage. Let's see what that sounds like. So those really affect the sound. We just want to get something going. Same with guitar. Ooh, everybody wait. In suspense. This video might be a bit long. Exploring different presets in these guitar amp plugins and finding something we like. Okay, so we can automate that. Let's say I want to automate the reverb. Let's say I want reverb to increase. It's really easy. If I hit the E, I'm just going to add a reverb to, not the bass. We probably do not want to add reverb to bass in this song. Okay, let me just add a reverb. Now the reverb is kind of in the amp rack as well. Let's see if there's a reverb setting here. Post effects, reverb. Okay, say I want to automate this. I just want more reverb as the mix goes on. It's really easy. We hit read and write and just hit play. Open this up and just hit the dial. Okay, now I should see that if I right click and show automation. Nope, not there. Let's see, should be under show all used automation. Yep, there it is. See it right here? What I just did is demonstrated here, and I can get the pencil tool and turn the grid off, and I can change the reverb setting here. All right, so we just need to do that on 2 tracks. And you can do reverb, you can do any parameter. They're called parameters, right? What these things do. Any of these parameters you guys can change and adjust in real time just by moving the knobs. Now, be careful though. Make sure you get this off-right automation. It needs to say the R needs to be green so that it can read whatever automation you have down here. If it's not green, if the R isn't selected, then it's just going to remember the last position that you have on it. But if you have the R selected, it stands for read, it's going to read the automation down here. Okay, so we want to take right off when we're done doing the right automation. Just take it off. All right. Good, so we'll do that on a second track. Moving down, demonstrate volume automation. Oh, that one's pretty easy. So if we go right click, show used automation. Let's see, where's the volume one? Hello. I'm not sure where that one went. Let's try it on the solo sax right here. Okay, right click, show automation. There's my volume. Again, I can take the pencil tool and draw it, which is, the shortcut is 8. I can draw volume in and out. Now, just demonstrate some light, maybe some volume writing. You wouldn't want to do this sort of thing on a track like this unless you're being highly creative. Right, that wouldn't really be realistic. And I can take that off read. Or put it on read and it will read the automation. If I want to delete that, I just select it all right here, hit delete. Oh, now it won't play at all. So I just got to bring this up a bit. Oh, you see it still won't play because I'm on read. So I just have to, it's a little bit of a pain, but I just have to drag that up. Find a node. These are called nodes, those little squares. Nodes. All right, cool. So volume automation. We're going to add a chord track and add some harmony. Okay, so let's just hear the whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to move that second sax solo over there. The second solo needs to be, the alt solo needs to be over there. Now we're having an issue with the volume. The guitar is too loud, so I'm going to bring that down a bit. And these saxophones need some reverb, so I'm going to put some reverb on this track, on our saxophone stem. Okay. Okay, that's getting better. So the thing you want to be concerned about is reverb time. That's how many seconds you'll hear sort of that delay happen. Diffusion is how fast the sound is diffusing. But the really important one is reverb time and mix. So this is how much reverb. Right, so all the way up, it's a lot of reverb. All the way down, it's basically none. So I like that. I also just put up some of the high frequencies as well, which is nice to make it pop through a bit more. So I just want to hear this with the guitar. Yeah, I don't really like that bass sound, so I might change that. I need something a little bit more mellow, more funky, but so these are all the frequencies that this sound is containing. Bass is probably too loud. Okay, so we're moving right along. Okay, we need to add something to this song. We're going to add a chord track and add some harmony to it. So if I just right-click down here, or I can also do it up here. If I go to other tracks, we're going to add a chord track. I'm going to drag it up. All right. So I need the grid on. Hit J. Bar is fine. I'm going to grab the draw tool, and I'm going to every measure for... See, I just need to do 2 right now because it repeats. So the chords are B major, so I can find it here, or I can find it here. It's probably editor, just better to use the editor right now. So B, and then the next one, if I use the left and right arrow, is an F sharp minor 7. Love this chord, right? So it sounds really great. You'll see in a second. All right, and then I just need to duplicate these and drag them out so it looks like this, so we don't have chords on top of each other. Okay, well, they're on top of each other when you're zoomed out, but that's not a big deal. Okay, one more time. And then the very last 2 chords. Dun, 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 dun. So we need 2 chords here. And these, I believe, are an E, just an E7. It's not a major 7. Let's see. Okay, we'll just try E major for right now, but it's actually an E7 chord. And then we need to go back to, I think it's A. All right. Now mute the chord track. All right. Now we're going to add a instrument track, Halion Sonic. We're going to put a synth string in there to kind of glue it together a little bit, make this sound a little better. All right, you won't hear any sound yet, right? So we need, let's say a synth string is right here. I can search for whatever. All right, it's muted, so unmute it. All right, now this is the really easy part. We're going to select everything. Or let's just select 2 at first. Make sure your grid is on. And let's hear this. I just put some data from the chord track on this track. Awesome. Now I'm probably going to need to put that up an octave, but let's see how it sounds as is. You can just dragging these all down. Or actually, it's easier just to hit Control D a few times. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I need to add a little reverb to that saxophone solo before I go insane. Okay. I know I said you see me messing with volume a little bit. Better to turn other things down than to turn everything else up. Okay, remember that, because you're going to run out of headroom. Headroom is how much volume you can change, so it's better to turn other things down than just to turn everything up. Always remember that. Okay, I'm going to try transposing this up an octave, see if it cuts through the mix a little bit better. An octave is 12 semitones. also add some distortion to the saxophone. It sounds a little timid to me. Maybe da tube. That's pretty cool. All right. The drums will still need some work, but we're getting somewhere. Now, I would probably say let's have the strings come in about halfway through. We don't want to throw everything at the audience all at once. What we're trying to do is keep the audience interest with the extended song length. So I'm getting bored at about 20, 30 seconds, so we need to do something to make it happen. And the way to do that is to add another instrument like we're doing at a certain point. If I keep duplicating this. All right, let's have another saxophone solo come in here. All right, here's the trick. Let's say I want to copy the same effects from saxophone solo 1 to saxophone solo alt. I can do that pretty easily. All right, so where are we? Right here. Go to inserts, and if I hold alt and click, it'll copy. Basically, alt-click copies whatever you select. You might need to move it around to find a nice place for it. Okay, so now the drums need to end on some sort of a nice note. Okay, so that's the last measure. So I'm going to delete everything. I'm looking for a crash sound. Right there. Right there. I'm going to drag that out. So we just want to end on a crash. That's nice. Now, let's drag these string chord notes down to the strings and see. I'm going to put them up an octave because I know that'll work. Oh, I think it's the wrong chord. I think these need to be switched. Hold on. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. I think it's B. Oh, let me hold option. We will fix this. I think it's A. Oh, it's E and A. Or it's E and B. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Yep, this is supposed to be a B. My B, guys. My B. Here we go. Then I can drag this out and take these notes and make them last. A nice fade out. So this is a great time, students, to practice or to demonstrate volume automation as we fade this instrument out. How do we fade it out? Well, we're going to right click. We're going to go, there's a few ways to do it. We can go show automation and just draw it in. Or I can hit right and just physically move the fader. And then I can manipulate it here. Cool, we're getting somewhere. Okay, we added harmony. We added VST amp racks to the electric guitar and bass, and we grouped our saxophones. So we want to spend, I would spend a little more time with the groove and definitely with the mix and just make sure I'm panning things correctly. Like the bass should be panned in the middle, the electric guitar should be panned off to the left or right a little bit. The saxophones should be panned. The solo saxes can be a little panned, that not completely on the right headphone or the left headphone. The drums should be in the middle. We shouldn't really pan these left or right. And we can start, we can add effects to the drums. The last thing I would do, and this is more for the advanced students, but you guys can all do it, I think, is on the stereo output, if I hit F3, we want to add a final compression to it to make this pop out. Compressing the whole mix a little bit is going to make everything just come together a little bit more, as a poor man's way of describing it. -3 gain reduction. That's just what the compressor is doing to the song. It's limiting how loud it gets at certain points. When the song gets louder, it's limiting it, and then it's bringing everything up together. So it's making it more homogeneous, and it's just making it sound better.